So what we're saying is that Stobox STBU will no longer be a token, but will be a coin. It's not just the blockchain, but it's the swap that would come after that. We're gonna burn half of the Ethereum total supply of hundreds millions as of today.
Hello guys,
Yes,
hi
Max.
Figura.
Hello everyone. Nice to meet you. All of you.
Yes, hello. So we are launching and starting our monthly insights from Stobox. My name is Jin Zayev, I'm CEO of Stobox, and we have C-level Stobox team here. We have Igor, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Stobox Exchange. We have Ross, who is the Chief Operating and Co-founder, and we have Max Rubin, who is CFO. So again, hello everyone. Yes, yes, hello.
And Jin, our rockstar CEO and the founder of Stobox.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, I know that there's a lot of people writing us and asking us about the developments, and so we're happy to, first of all, to speak to you guys, to share latest updates and developments, what has been going with Stobox for the last month of September. Also, we have published our monthly report. As some of you may know that previously we have reported on a weekly basis, but there are a lot of things that are going on these days. So we have made a decision to shift from the weekly updates to monthly updates. So that's our second monthly update for the month of September. So I kindly ask Ross to share the link on our blog as well as the Medium.
Yep, we'll send in our community chat here in this live stream.
Yes, perfect. Send the link. It's live, so you can first of all open the link and go through the development that Stobox was doing, as well as I'll be happy and our team will be happy to comment on most important aspects, and we have a lot of important aspects to share with you guys that has been gone on during the September, and definitely we'll speak about the plans for the following month of October and so on. So if everyone ready, let's start. I will share my screen and we'll jump to the report, and then we will answer your questions. I know there were a lot of questions, so some of them, the most important of them, will be answered, and some of them will be answered probably next time we will share information with you. So let's move on with, first of all, with Stobox products and Stobox tech products. And a lot of people that have been following Stobox recently know that we have several directions in our developments, and we started with the concept of tokenization of securities, and this is our kind of primary and main business that has been launched 3 years ago. So we are a company with a 3 years traction, 3 years experience, mostly in tokenization and tokenization of securities. So we have a Stobox Digital Securities Dashboard, and again, most of you know that that's a SaaS solution that helps streamline operations with security tokens and tokenized securities. Today, we have made a recent update up to version 2.9.10. It's a bit complicated, but this is how we track the updates on our product. So the most important thing that was going on, there are a lot of questions from our customers. So guys, where are your STOs? Where are your traction? You have promised us 3 STOs in September, 4 in October, and so on. And I'm happy to share and to say that a lot of things that depends on us has been done completely and perfectly fine. And our client satisfaction rate is 90+%. But the STO is quite a complex procedure. Sometimes our clients do not cope with the speed that we are imposing on them. And we are waiting for several of our clients to actually finalize their part of the job. So we're expecting first STOs to come not in September, but in October. I frankly believe it will be this month, and we're very kind of looking forward to that. From the updates, and I'll be very quick because there's a lot of things that has been, I have to share on the crypto side. So from the dashboard, it's very important that to mention that now we are able to kind of launch dashboard via the scripts, so that dramatically reduces the speed of deployment, because every client has to have their unique dashboard, and it takes a lot of time to customize. So now all this customization can be done via scripting rather than a front end assembling and so on, which effectively and efficiently reduces time of deployment. We have added some regulatory rules for the multi-jurisdiction offerings. So for example, if you're raising funds from US investors, as well as European, as well as Asians, for example, you have to calculate how much funds you've raised from a different kind of group of investors. And it's very important to make sure that you fit into the regulatory frameworks. It was not done in automatic mode for our clients. Now we added this into kind of automatic mode, so they don't have to calculate themselves. It's much more effective for them. The third point is where our dashboard is now API based, so there's a lot of information that we can actually streamline from the dashboard. Like for example, our clients say, guys, we need some data that we need to have on our public domains, public website, and this data should come from our backend of the dashboard. So now it's possible. It's not a critical infrastructure thing, but it's a tiny step to make our clients more happy. During the September, we've done a lot of in terms of optimization of the current functionality. And again, we will see how those dashboards will be deployed for our clients. We have numerous clients in the pipeline. I will tell this a bit later. And if you would like to see how dashboard works, don't hesitate, go to dashboard.stobox.io. This is where our own shares have been tokenized and offered for the STO, for the offering. So you can check it out there, or wait till our first clients will be deployed later this month. Before I move on, I just want to say that we have also prioritized the future development for the Q4 for the dashboard. And there is a set of very important issues that has to be done. First of all, some of our clients are interested, and some of them are requiring integration with custody. And just to make sure everybody understands that unlike with the digital assets, in case of digital securities, custodial services are actually venues that are allowed to store securities, which basically very few of them exist in the world at this point, unlike classical crypto custodials. So it's a challenge, first of all, to find them, to make sure that they're API ready, and we need to integrate with them to keep our clients happy. So not kind of, especially high wealth individuals and corporate clients do not want to deal with private keys. So they will be happy if Stobox dashboard will have custodial integration, so their securities will be stored with custody. So it's a challenge for us, but we hope that we will manage that in Q4. Second and very important thing that we have planned is the integration with the Fiat Provider. So a lot of our clients, they find difficulties with bank account openings and accepting funds, and for some banks, they're new customers. So what's our challenge for the Q4 is to provide the Fiat integration. So the bank be able to provide integration to open accounts for both our investors and STO and issuers, in order to move fiat and transact fiat payments for purchase and secondary selling and so on, in respect to security tokens and tokenized securities. We have also looked at the possibility of cross-chain integration and bridging, and that's definitely that module will be on, not only for the sake of our own blockchain that I will speak a bit later on, but to be able to provide cross-chain with chains like Algorand and Polychain. So basically, we are client-driven in this respect. So if our clients demand, because it's a SaaS, so if they demand, say, listen, guys, we want to have our securities on Polychain, we say, okay, that's your that's your responsibility. We might not think that would be the best idea, but if you would like so, we have to have certain cross-chain integration for that. So that should be ready in Q4 by the end of the year, as well as the advanced API functions. I'm not going to dive into that deeply, but when upon the release, we will have the project documentation, and you will be able to see how it's done and basically test it not only on our dashboard, but on the dashboards of our further security token offering clients. Okay, that's I tried to be quick on the dashboard part. If there are any questions, please ask. I tried to be fast because that's already 13 minutes and we're running out of time. Very important. Now we move on to our crypto exchange. I know that there were a lot of questions about this product, and I know we're a bit of back on timing. In respect to exchange, there were a lot of challenges. However, we had a big sync talk today with our tech team. We were supposed to launch the 0.7 version today, where with the multiple pairs, with the full liquidity, with the localization package and so on. We had to postpone that till the next week, or maybe we will launch it this week as well, but hopefully next Monday will be the time and the date of the launch of that version. I'm not gonna go through the details, but people who follow us see, especially who have access to our kind of UAT and our demo environments, can see and track the development. I know some of you guys can, especially who are helping us in bug bounty, in finding bugs. Thank you very much for that. So slowly but surely, we're moving our Stobox exchange to the product that can be used kind of at its full capacity. Moreover, as we have preliminary and declared that we will be moving to regulation in Ukraine. And I have recently sent some data on the adoption of crypto in Ukraine. And guys, we are #1 country in the world in terms of adoption. If I'm not mistaken, more than 12% of population of Ukraine holds crypto. So we have localized our exchange to Ukrainian language, and we will be going after the license in Ukraine once we clear up our legal not only us, but the government of Ukraine clears up legal procedures, we will definitely follow that. And hopefully in 2024, we will be licensed exchange in Ukraine. That's the first country where we will probably have the license, and then we move on with other countries once we develop our product. If you guys, Ross, Igor, Max, if you have any questions or you want to add something, please do.
Yes, we have.
Yes, please, before I move on to kind of most important part of this.
Okay, thank you,
call.
Jean.
Yes.
Thank you, Jean. We have two questions. The first one is regarding the dashboard from Naomi. The question is, the STO dashboard will be open source on GitHub or not?
No. It's a SaaS software. It's not an open source. It's a compiled software that we are providing to our clients. Nevertheless, we have just recently got the audit by the company. Ross will remind me what was the company of an audit that we have successfully completed. SignSoft, exactly. That's a company with 30+ years of experience in auditing tech products. So we happily passed all the critical and not critical part of the product. So it's not an open source, but the contracts, the smart contracts behind that definitely can be seen, and they're also audited, but they are obviously open source. Another question that we might have, Ross, is...
And the second question is regarding, as I see, to Stobox Exchange. Naomi asking the second question too. To buying via Fiat will you also support third-party website like PayPal, Skrill, etc.?
Look, guys, that's a good question. We don't have. There's a lot of work because behind every integration, there's a lot of work. So we have to prioritize. For the time being, our important main factors would be the first, to be able to accept Fiat from the cards or kind of merchant standpoint. So we have to accept MasterCard, Visas. Secondly, we have to accept payment, SEPA and SWIFT payments. So that's from the acceptance part of the integration. Secondly, we have to have at least US dollar and euro, because a lot of our clients are from Eurozone. We have to have pairs on the main assets like BTC, Ethereum, Stobox token. We will have them with USD and Euro pairs. And we have to make sure that the AML and the withdrawal and deposit processes are smooth for our clients, because most of you know that today Fiat world is becoming very strict from the AML standpoint, and sometimes it's very difficult to not only withdraw the funds but to get those withdrawn funds by saying that it's proof of origin of the funds and so on. So it's not about just connecting, it's about connecting with the proper provider who will take care of the of the issues of us and our clients. So that's the main challenge. And once we move on, we will be adding third-party fiat providers, but this is not in the priority list for the time being.
Okay. I also add that not only SEPA and Visa, but also we will try to add possibility buy and sell crypto via Google Pay and Apple Pay. Will be additional features for our exchange. Just for your knowing.
Yeah, thank you, Jean. Thank you, Igor, for your detailed answers. Let's move forward.
Okay, guys, and let me, before I move on to the Stobox L2 blockchain, which kind of was not something obvious that we would dive into. Again, 3 months ago, we didn't think of this. We had we had some feelings about it, but we never made that decision. So we are launching level 2 blockchain. What does it mean and why? When we started to look at how we're going to manage secondary transactions on digital securities and security tokens, we found certain issues and certain challenges. Most of our clients, they are happy with decentralization of Ethereum, and everyone says, "Okay, guys, we are happy with that." But the first problem is the gas fees. So we're not ready to pay tens of dollars for the whitelisting and the KYC for every individual account, every individual wallet. Secondly, every secondary transaction would take us tens of dollars, if not hundreds. Sometimes we saw that case when Uniswap was charging us even $270 on classical swap. Blockchains, again, and this is regarding the Ethereum. Blockchains like Algorand and so on have a different consensus. They have a different logic, different structure. So in this case, we have to kind of really change the way how we develop our dashboard, which is actually not the case, because there's a lot of customers who are ready to be launched, and we are not looking at that direction. So no, we're not changing the logic, but we're kind of looking at the system of Ethereum-based logic in order to adopt to the dashboard product. Some of the parachains like Polychain and so on, Polygon, again, we find it difficult from the decentralization standpoint. So by looking at all this kind of challenges and thinking how we would build our future in DeFi, we have made that decision. So how we see that, I will share. First of all, I will go through the main L2 blockchain data sheet, and then kind of describe what will be under the hood of Stobox L2. By the way, Stobox L2, that's a temporary name. We'll get some fancy naming for that later on. So basically, it's a proof of stake permission consensus mechanism. So we take the classical Ethereum proof of stake node and alter that. So our chain will be much cheaper and faster. Why? Because unlike with Ethereum, we have 3 blocks per second. So every 3 blocks, every 3 seconds, there will be a block, a typical Ethereum size block within the chain. So that will give us, that will add up to 4,200 STBUs, which will be a mining reward in 24 hours. So what we're saying is that Stobox STBU will no longer be a token, but will be a coin, and it will be mineable on our L2 network. To start mining, because it's very important to mention, it's a permissioned. So why it is permissioned? To start mining, the minimum requirements today, and it would be for the time being, would be 10,000 STBUs. So anybody can launch a node with that minimum STBU. But it's a very important aspect. You have to pass KYC. So all our nodes will basically be identity verified. So our aim, because most of the activities, or some of the activity, will be with the security tokens. We want to make sure, and we know how regulation kind of goes and where it goes. We want to take advantage of this, and we're saying that unlike most of the chains, or basically all of the today's popular chains, none of them provide identity verification for having a node, giving the fact that that's a public blockchain. It's not a private network, it's a public network. So you have to pass KYC, and then you will be able to deploy 10,000 STBUs on that and become a member of the pool, of the mining pool, with that minimal amount. The next figure is average yearly mining of STBU. So just to mention that with this 4,200 STBUs per 24 hours, the maximum on average maximum amounts of mineable coins will be more or less 1.5 million STBUs a year for the whole network, which I think is a quite a low comparing to the to the potential of the network, because we can speak further on. We have more than 20 clients that are committing to go on the secondary with us. So if we calculate the total amount of the funds that they are collecting on security token offering, and look at the potential amount of the secondary trading, we see that this economy works really well for us and for the miners. Because again, look at the price of STBU today. It's the bottoms, lows. We believe that demands for STBU token dash coin will be increasing once we move more secondary transactions and once we move more pools, both security tokens and classical cryptocurrencies to L2 blockchain of Stobox. It's very important to say that I know some of you are already playing with Polygon and Polychain, and Algorand, and you know how minimum transactions may be. We also set our transaction to kind of a minimum fee for our miners, and a minimum fee for STBU transfer, because again, now it becomes a native coin. So it's the same as with the Ethereum blockchain. When you move ETH from account to account, it's you have to pay much less commissions than you call a contract. So in our case, it will be around 0.4001 STBU per transaction. So we're gonna have 200 transactions per block, and there will be one block in 3 seconds. So basically, we're saying that it's 100 times cheaper than Ethereum. The very important, let's go on the next data point, and then I will tell you what's going on with the supply. Yeah, so the same with the Stobox transfer, the STC20 contracts or any token that will be released on our L2 blockchain will have a minimum transaction fee of 25 guays, which means that it's 0.1 per block of 200 transactions, which creates from the security token standpoint, we kind of dramatically reduce the cost of secondary trading for our STO clients. So if in Ethereum, they would have paid tens of dollars for approving KYC on an individual account, on an individual wallet, on individual personality, then the investor has to pay a lot for every transaction. With Stobox L2, those transactions will be limited to dollars or fractions of a dollar. Very, very important thing. We're gonna burn half of the Ethereum total supply of 100 millions as of today.
Whoa. Whoa.
So we had a total supply of 100 M. We're basically halving that. So the amount which will be available for miners and will be kind of a circulating supply by the time that we'll launch L2 in Q1 2022. Again, we have a testnet launch in December, hopefully, if nothing goes wrong, and the main net is should be ready in Q1 2022. So we will have 50 million of tokens in Ethereum. And some of you may already know that we have now hundreds millions of STBU in Binance chain, but those tokens are not sold. They're only used for the bridge purposes. So if you want to bridge from Ethereum to Binance, you can do so. So we will be leaving half of the today's total supply on both chains, both Ethereum and Binance, and we will pre-mine 50 million of L2 STBU. Why? Because basically everyone who has Ethereum L1 tokens will be able to move that tokens to L2 for either operations or to setting up the node. So we are not selling, we're not offering any of L2 on the public market. So we're not selling those L2. These L2 tokens that will be pre-mined on the L2 network will be residing on the bridge and will be only available for Ethereum holders to kind of move their L1 Ethereum STBU to L2 internal blockchain. I hope that is clear, and it's a very important aspect because from that time, once we launch the network, the yearly supply through mining will be more or less 1.5 million. So what we're saying that after the launch of the network, there will be no new tokens or coins from that, other than that 50 million, other than mines organically on L2 network. I hope that is clear. If you have any questions, please ask. But we will. Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we have.
Let me finish and then we move on.
Okay.
I want to add very important points. Unlike with classical or traditional blockchains, we will have two mining pools. So why do we need them? One mining pool will be what we call, it's a non-published mining pool or non-published transactions. And the second will be published. What does it mean? Most of our STO clients, they say Ethereum is sufficiently decentralized and we're happy with that network. Our blockchain is opt not only for security tokens, but for the classical crypto assets. The caller, so the guy, anybody who does the transaction will be able to choose if that transaction has to anchor on Ethereum or any L1 or on any L1 blockchain, or it can be stored only on L2. In case of classical crypto, we don't require anchoring with L1. But in case of digital securities and security tokens, because most of our clients say we're fine with Ethereum, and most at the same time they say, guys, we want to make sure that the integrity of our ledger is kind of is maximized. So we say, okay, guys. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna transact your security tokens on our L2, but the information on that, the hashes of that transaction, will be stored on Ethereum. So basically, if something goes wrong with Stobox chain, if anything goes wrong, we have all these records being stored on Ethereum blockchain, ensuring maximized decentralization for the sake and for the purpose of our clients and for the integrity of the data. Also, we have an AML KYC embedded into chain. So, as I said, because our node holders are KYC identified individuals or businesses, to make sure that all operations are compliant. And we know that compliance and regulations, again, coming into the crypto sphere, crypto industry, and we're definitely not going behind the hype, just creating blockchain for the sake of creating some NFTs and another set of punks and so on. So we have a different approach where we exactly know who mined that specific transaction. We know who is in charge of creating those transactions, and we definitely know that in case something goes wrong, we can restore that data from the Ethereum or any L1 blockchain, which will be compatible further down the road. Another very important aspect is the consensus. Our kind of miners will be in charge of permitting third-party contracts execution and deployment on the chain. So basically, you cannot come on the Stobox chain and say, listen, I want to create any third-party contract, regardless if it's a front runner or if it's another crazy NFT token. So we want to make sure that if you would like to come to the Stobox blockchain and deploy your contract, you will have to be validated from the KYC standpoint as well as from the technical standpoint. And once we approve you, then you will be able to run your business on Stobox blockchain. That's kind of a general outlook of the network. I know there will be a lot of questions, and I know that during the development of the chain, we will face some of challenges, definitely, and we might have certain alterations on the numbers, might have certain alterations on how we see that, but what you see now is 95% accurate from every standpoint that we have in this aspect. Ross, if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, thank you, Gene, a lot for your speech. Of course, we have several questions from the community, and the first one is from Crypto R&D. The question is, how much will be the maximum supply? I think it is related to
supply will not be limited. Again, we don't have the mechanism of burning at this moment, and it's okay because we don't have to have it from the very beginning. We might we see how it goes, and then once we further down the road, we might implement a burning mechanism the same way as Ethereum did with the later updates. So it was never there before. There will be no total cap. So what we'll have in the beginning is that 50 million of total supply, and the rest is just a mineable 1.5 million per year. which will be distributed between the mining pool. And again, very important information. I know some of you have asked what will happen with today's DeFi activities. And guys, we will continue with, first of all, we will, we will we will be responsible for every action that we did. So every activity will be finished. And upon that finish, we may no longer be providing, the continuation of that. So some of the mining pools, some of the staking pools will be terminated at the time of their, of the time of their maturity. So we will still continue supporting them until our last client. But definitely our focus will be on that part of development. So we're not moving after kind of the hype actions like creating tokens on another networks, building useless bridges between other networks, kind of creating any activity that would kind of unfocus us from that development. So I hope that answers your question.
Yep, thank you, Gene. We have 4 questions prepared online from the community, and the next one, the question is from Breathless. As a parachain, will project be able to build on top of Stobox L2 and develop within the Stobox ecosystem?
That depends upon the project. Again, I will give an example. Projects like Compound will definitely be an asset to our ecosystem. And we will be happy by permitting them operations on the chain. And so we believe in decentralized technologies, and we believe in decentralized finance, and I think it's a very long road. So we have to be very cautious from one side and very proactive on the other side, kind of supporting true development on our chain and making sure there are no scams or kind of limit malicious actions on our chain. And this is the concept behind crypto exchange, because we're not happy to have thousands of different tokens on the chain. We will be happy with with the limited list of well-recognized or kind of well legally structured and kind of good projects and good companies. We will definitely be supportive to them, and we do our best to make sure there's no shits going on with our network from this crypto madness standpoint.
Yep, thank you for your answer. The next one is from Naomi. There will be the limit of users to run a node?
No, we don't think that should be limited. But if just do a little calculations, if we have 50 million of total supply and we have a 10,000 STBUs, which is a minimum, and we can pretty much do some calculations and see that if we have 200-300 nodes on the network, that already would take a big chunk from a total supply. So some supply will be on several exchanges, some supply will be residing on some DeFi protocols, and the rest would be in nodes mining. So you can pretty much see that if we have like 200-300 nodes, that will definitely, I mean, all this economics and tokenomics creates scarcity for the coin, just because it becomes mineable at the pace of 1.5 M and per year, which is 100,000 per month, which is basically no more than 10,000, no more than 10 nodes can come to the network from the mining from the mining part of the total supply. So they have to go to Ethereum or Binance and go buy those tokens from the market, pushing the price, kind of driving the price up. We deliberately created a limit of 10,000. Initially, it was 100,000, but imagine what would be the burden for our security token client when the price of STBU reaches $1. So basically, you have to have $100,000 in STBU to just be able to mine. And very important that all our clients, all our STO clients that go for the secondary trading with us, they have to have a node, because they will first of all be at the part of the resiliency of and integrity of the ledger itself, and secondly, they will be part of the consensus, which is a very important, because now they are part of the network where their securities and where their token is being stored. So it's a psychological, and from the product standpoint, it's a very important. So if you want to do an STO with Stobox, you can choose any network. But if you want to go on the secondary market with Stobox, then you have to have L2. And we pretty much know that most of our clients, they're happy with Stobox and moving on with Stobox. So. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. The next one: will devs able to build on Stobox? I mean, smart contracts.
Again, yes, but it's permissioned. So then you have to pass certain KYC. You have to, to upload or to execute the code. I'm not sure how it would be done. On some of our next videos, I will introduce our tech team with our CTO of Stobox L2 blockchain, because that's a different person from, it's a different team, by the way. It's a dedicated tech team, and that's we have within Stobox, we have two teams that are working on two different products. It's a Stobox Exchange. It's a one team of devs, and Dashboard, that's another technical team. So the Stobox blockchain, it's another team, and I will introduce those guys to you later on once we finish up some public information about the network and website and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you, Gene. And the last question that I have, it is from Naomi as well. The impact of increase or decrease the demand of token will impact on mining or miners reward tokens?
No, because the same as with Binance Chain. Look, they are the gas, the GUI, which is the fee, a transaction fee, is at its minimum of 5 GUI. The transaction, the contract price, the price for calling a contract, it's 25 GUI. So that's kind of minimum, and it's adds up to pretty standard figures, where we say it would be 0.02 of STBU per block for transferring, and it will be 0.1 STBU for calling a contract. So, and those transactions do not depend upon the demand and supply. Just to give you a brief understanding in terms of dollars, how it works. A regular miner from that has 100,000 STBUs on their account and participates in consensus would be rewarded with today's price of STBU around $40 to $50 per day. So that is enough to cover up the costs of, let's say, cloud computing, where you're going to store. Again, we had a question on the technical requirements for the node. So it would be a classical like 500 gigabytes per data per disk, 4 cores and 8 gigabytes of RAM. That would be enough computing power to do the mining. So I doubt it's manageable on Raspberry Pi 2, but I don't think it would cost you more than $700 or $800 on classical hosting. So we think that Stobox mining can be profitable even with today's price of STBU. But if once you go with the mining and you will kind of save those tokens, and more and more members and more STOs would go on chain, creating an organic demand, I think the price go up, but the reward mechanism will remain the same.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you, Jean. And as I see, we have the last question from our community, and the question
before
is,
I move on to the last part.
Yep. Will be there an ambassador program by Stobox team?
I don't know. We didn't think of this at this point. Whoever asked that, if you have any kind of any sense, any understanding of how it may work, please don't hesitate to write us a quick note. And if you have any thoughts from the community, please, guys, help us. We can't, we're very open. We can't manage all of the things at the same time. We don't have a perfect knowledge on some things that we've never done before. So if you are familiar with something that we're missing right now, please share that info with us. We'll be very happy to take that on board. I hope that gave you a bit of understanding where we go from that L2 blockchain standpoint. Again, it's not just the blockchain, but it's the swap that would come after that. So we will have bridges and swap. That's the first part of the ecosystem. So any assets on Ethereum can be moved to L2, the same way you do with other parachains. But in our case, we'll have AML KYC. I know not many people like that, but again, this is the way how we see the future. And unfortunately, regulators see that the same way. So that's why we build a chain where it's all legally compliant. So let's move on. I know we have 4 minutes left. I just want to say that the same way as in September, we're still in process of updating our website. It's an absolutely new dimension from what we have today. So it's no longer just a corporate website. It's actually a portal where your wallets, your identity, Stobox ID, and loggings, logouts will be integrated. So kind of that's a part of a front end ecosystem of Stobox. The development of that website will take us a couple more months, and I think by the end of Q4 we will have a global release on that. Just to feedback on the tokenization services, in September we've signed 2 new clients on full cycle STO. There are more than 20 clients in the pipeline. We are not publishing their names because they're not live yet. Once we have permissions, once we have more information on their kind of release, we will definitely spread that info. The one thing that we can share is that the first company that we're looking forward to launch is Mariano Mining. We've been saying that for the last 1 month, but there's some legal challenges with these guys. And we're definitely sure that we will overcome them in a very close future. We have also delivered in September 3 consulting reports, not just consulting, but the legal reports. So those 3 companies will be onboarding on the technical part of the full cycle STO this month in October. And just to give you a brief understanding, what's also happened in September, we have revised all the presentation and sales materials. There are a lot of them, a lot of pitches, a lot of information for our sales team. So we refactored that. We refactored the pricing, the packages. Now we're creating the prices for the L2 kind of and the secondary market. We've outlined our strategic goals. Some of you may know that there's a objective key results kind of management system. So it's not a KPI driven, it's an OKR driven, where 60 plus people think the same direction, because we have created a strategic goals and every one of us follow, small steps and rules how to contribute to the big picture. Our co-founder and a friend, Boris Pikalov, participated in the Coin Agenda in Monaco, spreading the good words about tokenization and Stobox. We have prepared some handbooks on STOs, definitely updated roadmap for Q4. I know this roadmap has not been published on the website yet, but we will publish further down the road. Finally, we have registered our legal entity for the Stobox exchange, so there shouldn't be any issues with further developments on like CoinGecko and Cointelegraph and Coin Market Caps and all these aggregators. They require legal entity. So we knew that, and it will take us. It took us a bit more than expected from the legal standpoint. So now it's all solved. We're moving further. We have listed our token on TrustCoin and launched Reddit community. So go check it out. We don't have much time, so I will not go through the legal structuring. I just want to final saying that we have finished Q3, which basically means that all the investors that participated in securities token offering and will be participating will get the information on that. So that's a dedicated financial report for our investors. And some of you guys, some of you are our shareholders, not just investors in utility token, but shareholders. And that's STBX security token. This week, we will release an enhanced Q3 report with financial data. Please, I just want to remind that everyone who is our investor into Stobox security tokens has signed an NDA somewhere in the pipeline. So please do not share this information publicly. It's only for you, for your eyes only, kind of for the shareholders' eyes only. So please be rational. But the numbers you'll see there, I hope they will impress you from the profitability standpoint. That's it. That's what we want to share with you. I'm not gonna go through the architecture. That's kind of simple. If you have any questions, please ask. We will answer them next time probably, or in an email or community message format. So a lot of work has been done, a lot of work that will be done, and thanks for being with us. There's a lot of things going on, guys. I hope that you enjoyed our developments. Please put pluses if you do.
And subscribe our channel.
If you put minuses if you don't think that Stobox performs enough, please don't hesitate to send us your concerns, your questions, your proposals. So we'll be happy to study them.
Yep. Thank you guys for your great questions.
Thank you for watching. Also.
Yep.
All
I'm
the
looking
best.
forward to your support.
Yep. Thank you guys, and all the best. Talk to you soon. Thank you for staying with us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.